The suspense is killing me. Alright, welcome back. Kingdom Death Monster, depressed Eeyore. Gonna be more depressed in a second. Alright, Rumia and Flandra are Tinkers. Aya and Momiji don't have anything, so it's just gonna be 6 endeavors. I say just, even as if that's like a low amount. If you're getting more than 4 a year, you're doing great. Alright, so first things first, we need to roll 1d20 to see what other things will kill us this year. I need to look this up because this is kind of silly. I mean, the only reason I have a question about this is because I'm doing this during the drill settlement event and not the update timeline phase. So I don't know if that's different or not. So let me be right back. Okay, I looked it up on the forums and got a page number. I looked up page 80. First of all, I learned a few things. One is whenever you do timeline events, you do them in the order that they're listed, so the order that you get them. I've been doing backwards, actually, because I usually do the primary story event last. It should be the other way around. It also means I'm going to be doing Hooded Knight before I do Murder. But actually, that's not true. What's going to happen is we do draw Murder for the settlement event, because that's what we just got. By the way, that's why I was going crazy, because guess what? 12 is Murder. So, but it does say specifically that you cannot, the same settlement event card cannot be played more than once per settlement phase. And settlement phase being the entire settlement phase, not the steps in them. So this Murder that's going to be happening during the draw settlement event is going to overwrite the one that's on the timeline. So good news is we get to do Murder first. Bad news is we get to do Murder first. So this is going to kill somebody. It's going to kill someone with the highest XP, and it's going to be Kaguya. So we have already got her set aside for this very special occasion. So Kaguya is now dead. That is going to get us an additional 1 endeavor. Not that that really matters. And then the person that's going to be the murderer is going to be Flandra, because Flandra is the marrow hunger guy. Or girl, sorry. So, 30% chance. Let's see what happens. Thank freaking God. Alright. The murderer becomes the undisputed boss again. Gains 3 hunt XP. Each player selects 1 fighting art and 1 disorder. The murderer must take all of them, replacing any existing fighting arts or disorders they have. Okay, so Flandra is going to get 4 experience, which is going to make her retire and level up. She's not dead, she's just retired. So let's go ahead and level up first. So 13. Here's our final event. Age is the rarest resource of all. Roll in the table. We got, what is it? 13. 13 is +1 luck, which I guess is very accurate, because she is very lucky right now. So +1 luck. And then I get to pick a bunch of stuff. Also, I got perfect 10s a few times from freaking Crazed, so I should probably have been doing that a bit more often. Yeah, I can already see one right there that I rolled was right there, so let's go ahead and give her that +1 sanity from that. And I know for a fact I've rolled one previously several years ago, a couple of years ago, but I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think there's anything else of note. Nope, I'll just assume that I missed it. I always forget about Crazed. It's just how it is. In any case, I do need to pick a fighting art and a disorder, and she has to take them. So let's start with a disorder. What do we already have Immortal. So the question is what else do we want? Sworn Enemy is from the expansion, so I'm not going to take or not from the expansions, but from the optional side scenarios, so I'm not going to pick that one. Secretive is not that big of a deal. Indecision. Take the lower. Ugh, we don't want that. No. Binge eating disorder. She can't depart unless she has something that's consumable on her possession. Must consume when the need arises. I'm pretty sure the Twilight Sword counts as a bladed weapon. Hyperactive, can't do that. Indecision, Monster Panic. I'm trying to find something that won't wreck her. You may not spend survival unless you are insane. That's just a... Oh, Quixotic. Or Quixotic, sorry. That's actually really kind of useful, so we will take that. So, Quixotic. And then for her fighting art, the question is just what do we want from that? Combo Master? Every time I get a natural 10, it'll get an additional hit. I think that's actually what I want from Flandre right now. So let's actually get Combo Master, because I keep forgetting about Crazed anyway. And yeah. Oh wait, undo that. Undo that. Undo. Undo. Undelete. Undo. Undo. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Replace ambidextrous with Combo Master. There we go. Okay. And that is it. Now, I guess the question is can I take retired people for the final battle? Because that would make sense. I mean, that's kind of what they're there for. I don't know. Let's see if I can pull it up in the glossary real quick. Nemesis encounter. Nemesis... Nope. There it is. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Retired? They cannot depart. Oh, great. She's retired and can't do shit. That's dumb. Can at least the final battle fight? Because it's kind of what they're supposed to be doing. Oh well, I'll look that up later. But she's alive. She can't go on any more hunts though, because she's completely full out retired. Wait, how much XP was that? Sorry, I'm getting all jacked up here. Murder. 3 hunt XP. I did that wrong. She's not retired. She gets 3 hunt XP. She had the exact same XP as Rumia. So yeah, she is not retired, but she is at the final age limit, which means she can't really go on hunts anymore. Which means she's just going to fully rely on survival and all that stuff. Anyway, enough about that. I'm right now concerned of whether or not she's going to live, and right now she still needs to make additional checks. So let's go ahead and update the timeline. We are at year 16. We have to have a Nemesis encounter. It's going to be some sort of level 2. It's either going to be the Butcher or it's going to be the Kingsman. I'm thinking Kingsman because I don't want to lose all my resources yet. But also the other issue is we need to do Hooded Knight. So let's do Hooded Knight. I'm kind of just shocked that Flandre's still alive. Alright, so if a survivor has the Twilight Sword, they duel. So we gotta roll. The Hooded Knight confronts the bearer of the Twilight Sword. They roll on the table, add +1 to the result for each Twilight Sword weapon proficiency level. So I roll 1d10 + 3. Good news is, Flandre can't die from this. The other thing you also need to be aware of is if you do ignore the Twilight Sword stuff and the wielder dies from this, that's it for the Hooded Knight. He'll stop showing up. So yeah, there's still a chance we can get something like Gaping Chest Wound, which sucks, but everything else is going to give weapon proficiencies and all sorts of good stuff. So let's go ahead and get that hooked up. Alright. So 1d10 plus 3. 10. Gain 1 weapon proficiency level, the knight has unfinished business. So he's going to come back in 4 years. Flandre now has 4 proficiency levels, which is enough to get her that's enough to drop the slow requirement and give it plus 2 speed. So now she attacks 3 times with it, which is a lot better. Holy cow, that's so much better. At 6, it gets deadly, though deadly will help too. So there's that, I guess. Alright, but also what's more important is it's now at 4 proficiency, which means its accuracy is 5, which is amazing. But the main reason I want this sword, by the way, for those who forgot, it gets devastating too when fighting the Watcher. And devastating, what devastating does is it does an extra wound whenever you hit with it. For example, not the Butcher's Cleaver. Isn't there a bone axe somewhere? Where's the bone axe? I know there's a bone axe somewhere. Where is it? Did I lose the bone axe? Oh, there it is. Oh, wait, that's Savage. What is devastating? I'm getting mixed up now. What's devastating? Devastating. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. Just the difference is Savage only happens on crits. So yeah, devastating. It's going to do an additional 2 wounds. So that means every time she successfully wounds with that sword, she will do an additional 2 wounds. That's really, really useful. And with multiple hits, that's rather powerful. But, okay. So that is that. In fact, I think the first devastating weapon you can get is from the Zombato. Anyway, sorry about getting all flustered and discombobulated. It's been a roller coaster in this game. Really, it really has. It's been crazy. So I believe I spoke in like a video or 2 ago about kind of how we're going to be going up with this. It's going to be we're going to be just spitting out population at this point. I want to fight the Watcher at year 20. That's the goal. I do have Guitar Mastery, which is going to be great. That'll help out Remilia when she's ready to fight. We will send Remilia out to fight and all that good stuff. Flandre is not going to fight anymore. The only way we're going to up her proficiency levels now is with the Nightmare Training. So let's go ahead and start with that. We're going to go ahead and do Nightmare Training right here, right now. We'll have Flandre do it. Actually, sorry, we'll do Innovations first. 1 step at a time here. So, Monster Hide, Beefsteak, and a bone. We need a bone. Shank bone? No, we can do Great Cat Bone. That's fine. Okay, and let's go ahead and do our innovations. So, once again, this time we are up to, we have 10 cards in the deck now. So we got beds earlier, so 4d10. 1 is Scrap Smelting, 4 is Shrine, 10 is Family, 8 is Cooking. So Scrap Smelting is something we could have gotten from Weaponsmithing if we dumped a bunch of points into it, or dumped a bunch of supplies into it. It can get us access to the blacksmith. It also can let us turn scrap into iron, which can give us some pretty good additional benefits. But at this point, since time's kind of running out, I don't think I'm going to be able to go much higher in tech. Blacksmith is pretty much up high tier stuff. It gets you access to essentially the iron weapons, which is probably the best thing you're going to get short of any of the rare gears that are just from events. Events and monsters. Shrine we've already gone over. I'm thinking, and then there's Cooking, which I'm not too worried about, but I am actually very interested in Family. But I might not even want that anymore. That's the thing. We're so late in the game now that What this does, it can give us additional departing survival, which is great. But what you can also do is when you nominate survivors for intimacy, you can give them surnames, and if you do, the birth parents will get half the proficiency levels rounded down. So this is a way you can pass on weapon proficiency levels without, risking everyone's freaking lives. Speaking of everyone's freaking lives, I have yet to use Memento Mori. That's something we can do right now. But I didn't really keep any of this stuff. Gain the courage and understanding of the survivor. I'm not gonna worry about it. So, Shrine? Final adjustments. Departing survivors add 1 to all hit locations. It's better than nothing. I might just grab family. Cooking is not going to really do anything for us, so yeah, I'll just grab family. If I want to, I can start doing surnames and all that nonsense. Okay, so we got that. We have family. It's a bit late. I wanted that sooner, but it is what it is. Alright. So next thing we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and do the nightmare training with Flandra. Flandra can use 3 of her survival points to get hopefully something. 9. That is something. That is definitely something. 9 gets you 1 proficiency level, so Flandra is now at 5 proficiency. Speaking of proficiency, we do need to go ahead and update the timeline. 4 years from now is literally the final battle, or when we can potentially start doing the final battle. So now something to be careful about is making sure she doesn't get too much experience, too much proficiency, or she'll just leave, and in which case everything goes wrong. So I'll save the changes. There you go, Hooded Knight. So really it's going to come down to whether or not Flandra lives till 20. Because every time murder comes up, she's going to be a target unless we get another bone skull eater thing. So that's a problem. Also, departing survival needs to up 1. But yeah, she could potentially get 2 points with the next proficiency level. So yeah, I'm just going to keep her at this, and that's it. We don't need to worry about that anymore. That's 5 proficiency. If she gets 1 more, great. If not, it's not the end of the world, because all it does is give her deadly. With this, it gives her 4 accuracy with a Twilight Sword. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so that takes care of that endeavor. We still have 5 left. I'm going to go ahead and use 1 of them to do face painting and try to up our intimacy. That is 4+? Yep, that's enough. Alright, so we get +1 in all of our intimacy rolls. Now the question is, do I risk Remilia? Do I risk Remilia? I'm going to say no at this point. I could risk Flandra, and that would get you a Twilight Sword proficient character, but honestly that's not going to really help anyone, because I don't control who gets the Twilight Sword, so that's not going to matter. So really, at this point in the game, I don't really need it. It would be nice to have multiple characters with masteries, but really, I don't really need anyone super strong. The only reason I would want another person that's a master is if I was fighting at higher level stuff. But at this point in the game, that boat has kind of sailed. I'm gonna go ahead and take off Momiji because we're not gonna use her anymore. She's broken. She is 100% broken. Bye-bye, Momiji. Okay. So what else are we going to do? This is Nemesis encounter time too, so we do need to keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and set aside that, and wow, we don't have any organs. Do we have a stone circle yet? We don't. We still don't have a stone circle. We actually need a stone circle at this point. Alright, well, I'll hold on to these for the innovation. We'll hold on to the bladder, because once we get the stone circle, that'll actually give us a benefit. The scrap smelting, and we got 1,000,000 bones. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and boop, boop, and boop. I'm going to hold on to the hides for now. I might make a full leather set for the final battle, but we'll deal with that when that comes. For right now, we're going to go ahead and pop this love juice, and we're going to nominate Chizua and an unnamed. I'm not going to even bother giving him a surname. It would be Aki in any case, but +1, that's +1 population. So we're up to 15 there, 20 there. Why is... Oh, did I not update that number correctly? Well, actually, sorry, it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter because Kaguya is dead. So there's that. Now reduce that to 4, 15. Why is the numbers wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so that should be 12 for one thing. 16. Okay, so that is right. It's 20. It's kind of thrown off there for some reason. Oh well. Okay, so that gets us more population. That's great. Flandra. I wouldn't mind getting you to see the truth. That'd be nice. She does have a Dry Decanthus, so she can negate the stuff. So let's do let's search for some scrap. I think that's a thing we can do. That's a neat trick. Yeah, we can search for scrap. Alright, Flandra, search for scrap. That is 5. I believe that means she has to spend a point. She does. Spend a point. Okay. 2. Spend a point. 3. There you go. That's +1 courage. So Flandra spends another point, gets +1 courage, and gets to see the truth. Story events. See the truth. Get to roll a 1d10 and see what we get. This does give her blinded, but it's a severe injury, so it does get cancelled by the Giganthus. So we archive that Giganthus. Alright, now roll 1d10 to see what we get. 8. We're not cannibals, so what we get, when your second eyelids are open, everything looked the same. There was no wonder or mystery, no mystery. Death was simply everywhere. A bitter flavor fills your mouth as you accepted your harsh reality. Gain the Berserker fighting art and the following ability. You may spend survival and use fighting art weapon specializations in weapon mastery while frenzied. So usually while frenzy you can't do any of that stuff, but with this you can. Of course, I still won't be able to spend survival because immortality and all that nonsense. But yeah, this actually gets us access to the Berserker fighting art, which allows you to spend a action to make you suffer bash and become frenzied. So she doesn't even need the juice for that. Also, if she's wearing the leather armor, I can negate the bash, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and replace Crazed with Berserker. Okay, and she also gets Bitter Frenzy. Okay. Good stuff. Now from this point on, we've already used that. Alright, so use that for innovation, use that for fighting arts, use that, or for weapon proficiency, we use that for face painting. We did use 3 of these. Yeah, we used 3 of these for that, and so we have 1 endeavor left. I will go ahead and do a augury with Flandra. So 1d10 plus 1, and she loses a we lose a supply, but she gets plus 1 understanding. And we'll get rid of a skull because we have way too many of those, and someone keeps eating them anyway. All right, so all of that's been said and done. I'm going to hold on to the resources that we have right now. And we're going to be fighting a Kingsman. So let's take a look at a level 2 Kingsman and see what we're up against. I've never fought a level 2 Kingsman before, ever. We can also look at the Butcher while we're at it. So yeah, the Butcher at level 2 has 15 cards, 12 toughness, plus 1 speed, plus 1 damage. The thing that's really nasty about him is his Berserker is replaced with Frenzy Berserker, which means instead of drawing an additional AI card, he draws 2 additional AI cards. So that's 3 actions a round, which is pretty brutal. The Kingsman, he gets 1 additional ability as well, but he has 16 cards, one of them legendary, 6 movement, 15 toughness, 1 speed, 1 plus 1 damage, and has Silent Hymn. So Silent Hymn. At the start of the survivor's turn, all survivors gain -1 movement tokens. If a survivor's movement is reduced to 0, they suffer a random brain trauma. Remove all tokens that survivor gained from Silent Hymn. Rebel at any time a survivor may spend all their survival, at least 1, to remove all tokens gained from Silent Hymn. So yeah, that's it's a bit annoying. But I'm not sure if I really want to try fighting a Butcher right now. I definitely don't really want to fight a Butcher right now. We're going to have to fight another Nemesis. One way or another, we're going to end up fighting the Butcher year 19. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. For that one, I might just throw 4 bodies at it and just let them die. Okay, so that is what we're dealing with. Okay. So I said I was going to work on population. I have yet to actually do that, but I also completely forgot I had a matchmaker. Oh well. I'll just have to remember that in the future. So yeah, this upcoming fight is going to be up against a Kingsman. I'm going to definitely send Chen. And murder-wise, our official murder bait is still Rumia at this point. So as long as she doesn't get murdered, she should be fine. Alright, well, sorry if I've been kind of falling silent a lot. I guess I'm a little tired. It is rather late. But I wanted to see if Flandra freaking lived, because that's actually super important. But yeah, all we need to do is just make sure Flandra lives somehow. I don't really have much control over that, but if she survives till year 20, we might have a good chance of pulling this off. Otherwise, we're going to be screwed. As for the Kingsman, I honestly don't know what to expect. It's probably going to murder us. Shin does have King Step, so I'm going to be taking advantage of that as best as possible. But beyond that, it's not going to be much into my control. It also has 15 toughness, which means, which pretty much means I can't really kill it. It gets, it does have weak spot, which means I can reduce its toughness down to 11. But even with even if I put those Katars on someone with the White Lion set, that's the strongest. The strongest weapon we have is 5 strength, not counting the Twilight Sword. And I don't think we can actually hurt this thing. I mean, if we attack it from in its blind spot, there's a slight chance. I mean, it's 11, so yeah, there's still a chance, I guess. But attacking it from anywhere besides that is pretty much impossible. I mean, what's Chin's stats? She has +2 strength, right? Yeah. So that's a bit of a problem. That might kill 4 people. I might just... I can't really do that. I don't have enough... I can't throw 4 males at it. I'll run out of people. Alright. Yeah, I might send some fodder for this. I'm definitely sending fodder for this, but this fodder might have even less of a chance of succeeding than previous fodder. That's kind of the issue. I mean, Chen can at least wound with the arrow, but that's about it. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. I'll go ahead and call this a video, and when I'm more awake, I'll attempt to fight the Kingsman. So I'm the Depressed Eeyore, King of Death Monster. We're almost done, guys, and hopefully we can pull this off. See you guys next time.